Hello, beautiful souls of the You Collective. I'm so happy to be doing this thing. When I say I mean my higher self. And she's been holding on to the idea of a collective like this for many, many years and has designed it many times, and it never felt complete. And I knew that I had to get started on something even though it wasn't complete. And yet, as I put this platform together in order to have a space for us to convene online and eventually in person, it was really important to me that I got words out. And when the words were out, I knew they were complete. And when I reread the words of what the You Collective was to be, I didn't even recognize them. So I knew they came from a higher channel that I was tuned into. I was tuned into the frequency of my soul as I typed those words and really got the visual of what the You Collective is becoming. And it is such a beautiful space, and I think of it as my home on the internet. And my home is really, really important to me. My home is a place that is sacred. Therefore, anyone that I invite into my home is of some kind of sacred nature to me. I've met them along the way. They are part of my soul family. They are a neighbor that has been so beautifully gracious. Something about someone stirs my soul enough to invite them to my home. It means that we resonate. Our souls and our beings, our human beings, we resonate. We are tuned into something very similar. And by inviting someone to my home, they share in that vibration. They share their knowledge, their light, their wisdom. And because we're in resonance, I can hear it. And because we're in a sacred place, in a sacred comfort, in the sacred comfort of my home, sharing is safe. And it becomes vulnerable. And that is when the wisdom of life and the wisdom of each soul comes out. So my home is much more than four walls that I go to, cook and go to bed in and watch some Netflix along the way. Because that all goes on there too. This You Collective community that I am putting together, that I am simply the organizer of, this space is that for me. It is my home that I have to offer you. It is our home here. It's not even mine. It's ours. It's for this collective who resonates at a soul level to come in and share and feel safe, to bring your wisdom, to bring your light, to bring your experiences and your lessons learned into this space so that you can share with me. And through your lessons, I vibrate very similarly to you. You just bring another piece of the puzzle that fills in something that completes a little bit more of an understanding of what this whole process of life is. We are a collective. There is not one person here to teach. We are all here to share. And I simply have this platform to welcome you into. And I am so, so honored to have you here. Our souls resonate at such high frequencies. So high that we can't see the soul. It cannot vibrate in the third dimensional vibration frequency. It's too dense. It's a completely different resonance. So our souls operate in a higher vibration, in a 5D vibration, in a vibration that is only that. We can't see it, but we can surely tune into it. The sad part is that most human beings have so much out of alignment with their soul that along the way, life has become painful. And they have tried their best. They've brought their whole self. Their intention is to bring their whole self to the world every day. And they just keep missing the mark. They keep missing the mark. They don't make other people happy. They don't make themselves happy. They pull in shame. They take in regret. They sit in anxiety and worry about the future. They look at the past and wish they could change things. All of that has such a low frequency. Regret, shame, fear, worry, anxiety. Imagine how dense those are. Those are completely opposite frequencies from our souls. Our human selves, our human minds that accept all the mistruths of our cultures and our upbringing and our minds and all the things we make up over the course of our years that allow us then to operate at a baseline level of anxiety each day, or depression, or fear, worry. Those are all tuned into on the radio to 93-point fear. Our souls are on the complete opposite expression of that. Our souls are dialed into 100-point bliss. There are two completely different stations, two completely different channels, and we cannot hear something that's completely on a different channel. They vibrate differently, they're on a different frequency. Therefore, we can only listen to one in any given moment, not both. And when we are dialed into 93-point fear, that is all we're seeing in ourselves. It's all we're feeling. It's all we're experiencing in the world. And that is why we get so identified with the 3D function of us. And we go through the motions to try to make ourselves feel better through all these outwardly 3D things. And yet there's those of us in this collective who know that there is a different way. We know it. It's our truth to know it. And each of us brings a certain degree of vibration, but all in the same resonance. We are a piece of the puzzle, a big piece of a whole puzzle, a whole grid of energy that we bring to this world. And this collective is the one that is helping the collective of humanity to dial up into the frequencies of their soul. And you might say, well, hell, I'd love to help people because that means I know what the hell I'm doing. None of us completely know what we're doing, but we know a lot, and you know a lot. You know a lot more about different things than I know, but we resonate pretty closely. So when you bring your knowledge into this collective, you help me put a piece of the puzzle down. I'm going to help you put a piece of the puzzle down by sharing what comes to my mind. And my hope is that you pick up your phone one day when you're downloading a message like this, you record it and you put it into our collective and you share your piece of the puzzle. That's what this is about. Because the more we help each other as a collective in this sacred space that I'm going to invite you into, that is where this collective works to dial up into the frequency of our souls. And the more we do that as a collective, the more we dial up that same frequency in the entire energy grid of the planet. And every freaking human being and every sentient being on this planet, in this planet, around this planet, also picks up that frequency then. They start saying, wait, there's something up here. I'm tuning into something that feels really good. I want more of that. And they keep tuning to find our collective. That's what this is about. This isn't about me teaching you anything. This is simply me hosting a conversation that I want you to come into. And I want you to see your videos of sharing. This is about you and dialing up the trust that you have in your own truthful soul's message and the soul's frequency. So when that soul speaks, you are dialed into it and you say, oh yes, I will do that. And gone are the days when we dial into everything we need to fear because we're not meeting our own expectations, let alone those that the rest of the culture has for us. Those days are done. Done. Falling from our fields, any resonating lifetimes, any resonating timelines associated with that frequency is gone and dropped out of our field, so that we no longer dial into that. We dial into more and more these new codes coming in, these new truthful codes. This collective is now bringing in every single soul that is part of this collective now and that will be part of this collective in the future. Right in this moment, they know that they are downloading all the frequencies needed to come into this collective, to bring their wisdom, to bring their knowledge, and to bring their piece of the puzzle, so that the rest of humanity can benefit from the energy that we bring to bringing our souls into our frequency, into being our main channel, so that when we turn ourselves on in the morning, we are already dialed into that place. That is what we're creating here. That is what we are here to do as a collective. That is all about you. You bring you, I'll bring me. You just come into this sacred place that I have built out because I loved it, because I wanted to build it for us. Come into this collective. Be a part of this massive, massive mission. It's a massive mission, and it's so exciting. And if you're hearing the call to be here, I invite you into the You Collective. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this. I love your soul. I see you.